What is up, guys? It is Harley here, back for episode 9, I think it is, on the One Touch channel. Might be 10 actually. But sorry for no upload yesterday. That's what I wanted to say before I get into this video. It was my birthday, so I didn't really want to make a video and upload it and edit it and do thumbnails and everything on my birthday because it's just long, I have other things to do. Today we are going to be going back into buy, keep, sell and avoid for match day 3. I'm going to be doing a match day 3 deadline live stream. Over at, I think it'll be, what day is the deadline? Is it the 20th of June at 2 PM? I'll probably live stream at about 1 PM on Sunday, so make sure to be there for that. I'll post about it on Twitter at Halsey's at the top of the screen right now, so at a later date I'll talk about it. Also, I wanted to say that the Premier League fixtures have been announced, but I mean it's, well, just under 2 months until the Premier League season starts, so I'm not going to go into FPL content just yet, at least the end of the Euros until I go into that. But buy, keep, sell and avoid for match day 3. Not sure about what the chip strategy is going to be when I use wildcard. I think I'm going to do that for tomorrow's video. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and let's get straight into this. Oh, and also, before we do actually get into it, this is my team so far and how it has done. I'm not going to lie, it hasn't been great. I mean, Donnarumma got the clean sheet, so did Spinazzola, obviously the Italy players against Switzerland. 3-0 win, managed to keep a clean sheet, Spinazzola and Donnarumma. Insigne got the clean sheet, but blanked, managed to get 3 points. Yarmolenko got 2 assists. Oh no, he didn't. He got a goal and an assist and 70 minutes played, managed to get 10 points. Lukaku, who was my captain. Oh man, I was between Lukaku or Yarmolenko captain, but I took the safe choice. And I say safe choice, but it wasn't safe because he finished with 2 points. And Yarmolenko finished with 10, so I could have had an extra 10 points, or an extra 8 if you take off the 2 there. But that's how fantasy works. So I'm probably going to drop Meunier for Lucas Hernandez, Insigne for Pogba, and Lukaku for Mbappe, depending on what happens with the other 5 players. Wijnaldum and Dumfries play today. They play tonight, the 8 o'clock kickoff. It's 7:20 right now when I'm recording this. So De Bruyne is the first player on the buy section. He is the player that I want to have a look at how he did. I know how he did, but he's back from injury. He got subbed on at half time and he managed to get a goal which was outside the box and got an assist in just 45 minutes against Denmark, who are an incredible side. Obviously they're on 0 points, but they've been very unlucky with the situation that happened against Finland. But Belgium play Finland next, and I think De Bruyne, I think he will start, and I think he will bag a goal or an assist or both, maybe even multiple. But I think De Bruyne, coming back from injury, is definitely 100% a player that I'm going to have in my matchday 3 team. I think he's a player who you should have in your matchday 3 team as well. Should 100% be in there. I'm going to transfer him in near to the deadline. No questions asked. He's definitely coming into my team. The next player who you should buy is Poulsen. Now Poulsen, he's 1% owned. But in his 2 games, which are Finland and Belgium, he got a penalty earned against Finland, which if Højbjerg didn't miss, he would have got an assist. A goal against Belgium, and Russia is his 3rd game, so it's all there really for Poulsen to get a result against Russia. Well, for Denmark to get a result, but for Poulsen to get some goal contributions against Russia. I'm pretty sure I'm going to bring him in, but he's one in there who you could buy. He's a differential, obviously, with only 1% owned, but he looks quite good. I think I am going to bring him in, and he's definitely someone who you should consider bringing into your matchday 3 team. Now, moving on to players who you should keep. The first one is Lukaku. Now, unfortunately, he blanked against Denmark, but he's still a high-scoring threat, and probably Belgium's highest-scoring threat. With Finland as their next game, I think Lukaku's definitely someone you should keep in your team. Obviously, a lot of people are going to think, oh, should I sell him for Kane or sell him for Ronaldo, sell him for Mbappe? I think Lukaku, with him being obviously favourites to win the Golden Boot for the Euros, and only, well, he scored in his 1st game, I think you should leave him in your team for the 3rd game against Finland as well. I think he just has to stay in. I think he has to stay in your team until Belgium go out, really. So yeah, you should definitely keep him in your team. And the next player who you should keep is Ciro Immobile. Now, he's been amazing in both matches. He's the highest goal-scoring threat for Italy. Just keep in mind that they have Wales as their next game. So Wales, yes, they're a decent side. They got a win against... Who did they play? They played Switzerland, who they got a draw against, yes. And they beat Turkey, yes, now that I remember. So, if we look at it, Wales are a decent side, but Immobile, obviously the clean sheet doesn't actually matter to Wales. Italy are by far the better side than Wales. Immobile is the highest scoring threat, so if anyone is going to score for Italy, it's most likely going to be Ciro Immobile. You should definitely keep him in your team if you haven't already. He's not a player who you should go out of your way to bring into your team if you don't have him. I don't have him, I'm probably not going to bring him in. But if he's in your team, there's no point in really taking the -4 or sacrificing one of your free transfers if you're not going to use one of your chips. You know, he's not one of the top priorities that you should be bringing in for that Matchday 3, but if he's in your team, definitely keep him. Now on to two players who you should sell. The first one is Hradecky. Now, in his first game against Denmark, there was a lot of hype around him. You know, he scored 13 points. He got 5 saves, a penalty save, and a clean sheet against Denmark. Now, he didn't keep a clean sheet against Russia. And as Belgium is the third game that Finland have, I'm 99% sure Finland are not going to keep a clean sheet against Belgium. I'm 100% sure. Come back to this video and prove me wrong if that actually happens, and I'll look like a bit of an idiot. But they're not going to keep a clean sheet against Belgium. Belgium are 100% going to score at least one. They could even score multiple. I think they will score multiple. Finland are not a good side at the end of the day. They're not a great side. They might go through to the round of 16. Not too sure. But they're not going to keep a clean sheet against Belgium. Hradecky, it's just a waste of a player in your team. There are some good fixtures for you to target in Matchday 3. You know, Germany play Hungary. You could bring in Neuer. But Hradecky definitely should not be in your team, taking up one of those 2 goalkeeper slots. The next player who you should sell is Ruben Dias. Now, he is owned by a lot of people. I don't know what his percentage owned is. It's actually 37%, so a big chunk of the Euros fantasy players that play have Ruben Dias. And I think even if he was playing against Hungary, I'm not sure if he's that player who you should have in your team, because at the end of the day, he's a centre-back. He's not likely to get goal contributions. You know, bring in a full-back from Portugal if you want to have a Portugal defender. But he's unlikely to keep a clean sheet because he plays against France, and is unlikely to get goal contributions, not just because it's France, but because he's a centre-back. So, Dias shouldn't really be in your team regardless of who they play, but he should definitely not be in there, with France being the team that Portugal play in Matchday 3, and they're most likely not going to keep a clean sheet. But if you have Dias in your team, you should sell him for Matchday 3. Now, for the 2 players who you should avoid, the first one on here is Yilmaz, the Turkey striker. Don't hate me for saying this, but I think he's very overhyped in an average Turkey side. Yes, the Turkey side is average, and yes, he's done wonders for Lille, but he hasn't actually done anything in the 2 games that he has played. He hasn't got a goal or assist in both of the games that he's played for Turkey. He hasn't even looked good for Turkey, you know. It's not like he's had no assistance. He just hasn't even been great. Obviously, he blanked in both games and has Switzerland next, so Switzerland are the favourites to win that match as well. I would avoid Yilmaz. I would not bring him in. If you have him in your team, I'd sell him. I would avoid him. I would not even consider bringing him in. It's just a no. It's a no from me for Yilmaz. In the side, you know, everyone thought Turkey were going to be the dark horses. Absolutely not. Do not go for Yilmaz. And again, I feel like this is a curse, because this is something, if you follow me on Twitter, you will know this. I have deadline day curse. There's always a player that I swap out for someone else around 5 minutes before the deadline, and they always do well. I brought in Wijnaldum for Gareth Bale, and Gareth Bale managed to get 2 clean sheets. If Wijnaldum blanks now, I'm going to be incredibly mad. But back to the video. Yilmaz is someone who you should definitely not have in your team. But yeah. The next player who you should avoid is Locatelli. Now, this one's a bit of a controversial one now. He got 2 goals in Italy's game against... who was that against? That was against Switzerland in the 3-0 win. He managed to get 2 goals. Now, the reason for me avoiding him is I feel like, to an extent, I feel like those 2 goals he scored were fluky. Now, obviously, the goals themselves weren't fluky, but I do feel as if he's not going to get another goal contribution maybe in the rest of the tournament. You know, he's not that kind of player. He's a CDM. Yes, he is a bit of a box-to-box, but those 2 goals, they weren't, obviously, like I said, the goals themselves, I'll repeat it, the goals themselves weren't lucky, but I do feel as if he's not going to score 2 goals in the same game again for a long time. But a lot of people are going to bring him in just because he got those 2 goals, but I don't think he's someone you should bring in, especially from Italy. Wales are the next game. You know, you should bring in someone like Immobile, or if you want to go for the midfielders, one of Berardi or Insigne you should bring in. I don't know if Berardi actually picked up a knock or something, but you could bring in Insigne. Yes, he did blank against Switzerland and played a little bit deep. You should bring him in over Locatelli any day, and I wouldn't jump on this Locatelli bandwagon because it's probably not going to pay off. Now, if you guys enjoyed episode 2 of Buy, Sell, Keep, Avoid, then make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And also say if you would recommend to anyone who's watching this video any players that you would buy, sell, keep, or avoid. Put them in the comments down below. You know, why not? Join the league. The league code is on the screen right now. My rank right now, I think it was 40k at the start of the week, but it's dropped down to like 55k because I had some Italian players that blanked and whatnot. But hopefully we're going to get back into that top 50k, pushing on for top 30k by the end of the game week, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.